What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. I Love a Mama's Boy, Season 3. We are all the way on Episode 8. So first things first, Lorinda, Trey, and Abby took a break this week, so we will have to wait until next week to see what's going on with them. But let's dive in and talk about something that happened that everyone is talking about already. So Matt and Brittany. It appears that things are not going well if they're going anywhere at all. So Brittany has invited Matt to a dinner with her work mom, Vicky. And it's kind of an ambush, right? Because this is retaliation for what Kelly did to Brittany at her dentist office. And Matt doesn't like the idea of going tit for tat. Right? So he's like, you can't go tit for tat with my mom because you're going to lose. You're going to have to understand that my mom is at the top of the hierarchy and she can pull these type of moves and you just have to deal with it. So Brittany is not the type of person to sit back and deal with these type of things. So she has orchestrated a plan that sort of backfires because based on what we saw today, it almost looks like they're not going to be together anymore.
It kind of seems like she gave him like a taste of his own medicine. Because
Mhm.
even though that's not like her birth mom, like she said, that's her work mom. So it's kind of like she was just like, all right, so you feel uncomfortable, you feel ambushed, you feel like you're taken back. That's how I felt. So, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it. But I don't always feel like two wrongs don't make a right, you know? So I feel like if what Kelly had did bothered her so much, she should have said, look, that's unacceptable. I know that you love your mom. I know you're close. But what did I do to her to make her not trust me so much that she had to come up to my job, and kind of like start interrogating me,
Mhm.
or maybe go to Kelly directly. I don't think by bringing in her manager was the best thing because, like we saw, it backfired.
Mhm.
It kind of just looked like if you're petty, I can be petty too. And it didn't really resolve anything. It just kind of showed like now you got a taste of your own medicine. Go ahead.
After 7 months of them being together, I want to key in on what you said. The communication isn't there because, like you said, she could have went straight to Kelly. She could have went straight to Matt, and bringing extra people into an argument or a situation never makes the argument less intense. So Matt felt like this is a situation that we could be handling together, you and I. There shouldn't be Vicky. There shouldn't be Kelly. It should just be a communication thing. And after 7 months, you feel like you should be able to come to your partner and say, hey, your mom showed up to my job. I really don't appreciate that. Do you think that maybe this is something that could not happen in the future? But like you said, there was no communication between the two of them and it kind of just exploded.
Exactly. And it's a recipe for disaster. If you want to have a successful relationship, especially that early on, you have to be able to have trust and you have to be able to have communication. And both things failed. So obviously, this relationship isn't meant to keep going.
Right. Well, we're going to see if she actually gets an explanation because in the preview, Brittany was like, I at least deserve an explanation, or if Matt's just going to completely ghost her and pretend like they never dated for 7 months. So we're going to wait and see how that goes. So Esther, Ethan, and Lena are back, right? And we watched Ethan bring Esther dress shopping. We actually found out, newsflash, Ethan is a fashion designer. He designs clothes, dresses, suits. I was very impressed. Anyone who can make clothes out of fabric is super talented, and I'm jealous of all of the intelligence that they have because I can barely get a safety pin onto a shirt. So I am very impressed by that. And he took his mom dress shopping, and that is where Esther decided to have the conversation with Ethan that Lena wants boundaries and she wants them to stop flirting. And it's funny because Esther feels like this is a ridiculous want because this is her son and he's 31 years old and she's 60 years old and she just doesn't really feel it's that serious. It's playful. But at the same time, she's kind of taking into consideration Lena's feelings, which I actually respect, because a lot of the moms we've watched on the show, they don't take anyone else's feelings into consideration. So she did tell him and did say at the dress shop, you got to stop calling me sexy. You got to stop saying MILF. You got to stop saying hot, and kind of giving that respect to Lena. So I actually feel like this situation and her telling our future mother-in-law this might actually make things better.
Well, before they made it to the dress shop, the reason being that it even came up was because Elena was playing tennis with Esther. And she brought up enough courage to say, look, I did not like the fact that you showed up at my bachelorette party, and I don't like the flirtatious vibes or whatever. And then says that she wasn't jealous or whatever. But here's my thing. Like, okay, I understand, like, telling her that you feel like their relationship is a bit much, because the flirtation is a bit much. Like, you could say your mom is beautiful. You could say your mom is a queen. You could say that, I have the most beautiful mom in the whole world. But making like sexual advances towards your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, whoever, is just wrong. Weird, even
in public. Matter. In public.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it and you're just like playing around, like, do I think that they're really dating and all that? No, I don't think there's any type of incest going on, but it's implied. When you say that, it's implied, because she's the person who birthed you. So even though she might be the most beautiful person in the world, and she's a beautiful woman, I don't think that he needs to talk to her, because I mean, it also comes out very disrespectful, like in public. Like, you're making everybody feel uncomfortable and stuff. Like the dress shop lady or whatever, she looked very uncomfortable, because you can shout her out, you can make her feel gorgeous without making everybody feel uncomfortable, without the sexist comments. You don't need a cat caller. You know what I mean? Like, just like, you look great. That dress looks very flattering on you. Beautiful, So I don't blame her. I think it was good that she went to the source directly, because a lot of people don't do that. So she does have the good communication. She was bothered by the fact that Esther showed up. She told her face to face how she felt. But I think it was kind of sounding, the way she was saying it, like she was jealous of the comments, more so than making it sound like she was bothered by them because it's just not right. So maybe she could have just like worded it better, because it did come off like she sounded like she was jealous. And it's like, well, you can't be jealous of his mom, but you can be uncomfortable by the behavior.
Right.
So anyway, I think that the dresses that she picked out were beautiful. And like I said, she's a beautiful woman. I think the dresses look great on her. And, Ethan has great taste. The ones that he helped pick out for his mom, they looked great. So, there might be hope for this family yet. There is communication. That's one thing that they do have. They were able to openly talk. So.
See, and that's what good communication gets you. Change. It gets people to hear you and see you. And that's what's really important, I think, for this season. Everyone needs to understand how good open and good communication is for a relationship. So hopefully we'll be seeing them get married. And again, hopefully the dance that him and his mom decide to dance to will not be too scarring for the guests, because we haven't seen that yet. We're getting close, though, guys. We're getting close to that episode. So that's it for part one. We're going to come back with part two. Layla has made her return back to the show. She has been absent on many of the episodes, and she has a plan up her sleeve about Yusra and Shakib and Emily. So I can't wait to get into that. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. Make sure you're live tweeting with us every Sunday night for I Love a Mama's Boy. It's on right after 90 Day Fiancé. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you all really soon.